race gone deep.
Oh, he's lost it. 5 wide.
Oh no.
No, you can't do that. Oh, and he's around. Big crash. Oh, Dali's gone into him. He's going to go for the move. He's going to go for the move. Back in. Oh, the Tino's he's thrown it away. The Tino's gone for a massive dive. And unfortunately, it's
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there's a huge crash off the start line. Absolutely monumental. This is going to be a safety car. No.
Oh, Matt Kessel.
And he's just... He's dropped his car. He's going to have carnage. It's a big moment from there. He's going to struggle to stop that. He's into the wall.
That's out.
Inside of the jump.
Oh, my jeez.
Two, they're not like one another.
Oh, and yeah, I can see why.
Shut the bedroom, big crash. Alex Cattle's in the fence. It's around. Almost 3 words.
Team 1 cubes while you're racing a race car. You either haven't got the mod installed or you're on some very good drugs.
Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Automobilista Supercars Championship Super 2 series. And we're currently 8 minutes to go in qualifying, but once again joining me tonight is Colin Warwick, and in the box as well down in pit lane, he's revolving around those 2 areas, is Luke Rosella.
Hello everyone, great to be here, great to be in the pit lane, and yeah, joining you guys of course this year admin role, and yeah, I'm excited.
Good to have you. So this
Good evening, everyone.
This should be an exciting session. We've already seen some times put in there, just as this is the first lap of everyone. We're a bit late getting underway this evening. So Bratt's gone to the top, and Steve Warwick's now actually gone to the top at 52.7.
Yeah, I'm guessing those times will come down though. They were in the low 52s in that practice session, so maybe the track will get rubbered up and then we'll see where they go from there.
Yeah, I imagine that will be the case as we're currently watching Cam Parrett. It's good we've got a huge field tonight. We've got 24 odd cars joining us, so that's the biggest field we've had for quite a while in Super 2. So it should be really good. A number of new faces out there, and we've got some returning faces with Steve Warwick and Arison Latino joining us.
Yeah, well, we thought we'd bring those guys up, considering they're around the pace of Super 2. They're on the verge of Super 2 at main, and it's hard to judge sometimes where they're going to be. And yeah, they're showing tonight that they can be up there when they do put in the effort. And yeah, we'll see how they go. Ben Hall absolutely dominated last round. So, and to see him there in 5th place at the moment, I'm sure he'll come back up though.
Yeah, he'll be looking to come back up, but I'm watching Steve Warwick and he's 3 tenths up here, so he's going to go and lower this number by even more, which he does. He goes for 52.3.
Well, speaking of the Ben Hall pit, some of the engineers are saying that he's been struggling throughout the week with the track and with the car set up, but yeah, we're definitely looking to replicate his pace after the first round, guys.
Yeah, we absolutely dominated.
And the shows he's got the orange numbers on the car for this round, leading the championship, and we'll see if he can retain those at the end of the round tonight.
That we will. He absolutely dominated last round, and while he may be down in P5, I still think he's going to be a very strong person for the race, as Cam Parrett now goes basically almost matches Steve Warwick's time, slightly behind him. So it's a tight track. It's hard to watch out for all the times that are being put down. But there's Ben Hall straight to the top. So he definitely still is among this. He's maybe sold some people a furphy because he's definitely still one of the top competitors here.
We see a yellow flag back in sector 1. Not sure what that was for. But
Yeah,
now we
not
see
sure.
RSM Latino approaching the first sector. He's slightly down.
Trying to get a gauge on where everyone's at here. There's a lot going on. There's still a yellow flag in the first sector. I'm not sure why. I know Lachlan Horan's off the road, but that looks to be recent. And there's an incident here with Bob Carr and Nathan Higginson.
See RSM Latino. Looks like he's going to improve on this lap. We'll see if he goes up any positions. No, he stays where he is. 52.5. It's a good lap. Oh, that next lap will be hampered though. He's got a claim bite on the screen now.
This track's so difficult to find time, and it's also difficult in a qualifying sense. You make one mistake around here, and it basically screws your whole lap. So it's
Is there a claim bite getting caught?
Yeah, that's another thing you got to look out for is traffic. It's massive. Claim bite will want to press on here, but not much you can do.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's just the nature of this short track, and it's kind of surprised us by a number of entries tonight. It's only a short, sharp 10-minute qualifying session, and there's not a lot of track space for these 24 runners at all.
Yeah, and with the tyres you get about 3 to 4 laps maximum before you start looking at wanting a fresh set.
Yeah, I found that the first lap was still the fastest, but your second and third lap you could nearly match your times, and then from then on in it's a bit of a struggle. So
Be interesting to see the different lines of the hairpin that everyone takes, whether they all do the traditional or turn in a little earlier. As we see Ben Hall gone purple by the looks of it to the middle sector.
yeah, I've found running the high line and going up really high and coming back down is the best way to take it from my point of view, but it doesn't mean that there are other ways that work. As well, Stenny's parked on the exit of the hairpin. That's an awkward position.
depends on car setup as well. Some setups, like running the high line, or some setups like cutting right back into the on the exit, running high and cutting back in. So it's different for everyone. But it's got to find what works for you, I guess.
It's definitely right.
Just going back to pit lane, so moved away from him for the minute. Nathan Higginson's in P6. It's decent so far, and Liam Budd has returned to the series with P7 so far, just keeping an eye, tabs on where everyone's at. It's been a very quick session.
Yeah, Higo's done a good job. He had limited practice time. He had some issues with the mod, so he's done a good job through P6. And same to Liam Budd returning to the series.
Pratt was just massively up on everybody by 2/10, but he sprayed it and went off the road at the hairpin, so not sure if it was due to missing the brake pedal that he was up, or whether it actually was a mint sector.
He did an 18 dead to the first sector, and I think the fastest first sector prior to that is a 18.122 by Steve Warwick. So yeah, if he can pull the car up and do that first sector and get it off the hairpin, then yeah, he's got a fair chance at pole position.
Just flicking through the grounds to see where everyone's at. Matt Cecil's on a better number. We just saw the updated Vivid Esports car, Michael Pollard, before. Matt Cecil goes up to P8. He's now found traffic.
Yeah, that's the talk of qualifying here. Traffic. Oh,
that was
a
we
big
cut
crash.
away just as there was a big crash, so that was very awkward. It's just people getting caught up behind slower cars.
Oh, now
Now
Damo goes
Damo
to 8.
improved.
Oh, he's had a tank slapper.
Lots of people
Very
finding
easy to do that.
Yeah, lots of people finding it very uncomfortable on that rise. It's just very, very easy to do.
Just want to point out on that lap as well for Damo, he set a purple sector to the middle.
Wow.
17.7.
I've just noticed Brapp is on He's on a PB and he's up on the best time ever to the first sector as well. So it's be interesting. See what he can lay down. This could be a...
Yeah.
As Ben Hall and RSM Latino keep lowering the benchmark.
He's lost a bit of time. Let's see if he can nail the last corner though. Might be P3.
Steve Warwick is still on a time. He doesn't improve, but Steve Warwick's still on a time. So is Nathan Higginson. He's approaching the last corner now. See if he improves. And Higo doesn't improve. Steve Warwick stays P3. Keegan Sykes is on a lap, but he's now miles off. So who else is on a lap out there? Liam Budd's a mile down to the first sector. I think everybody else looks to be sort of done. So
yeah, clock's gone to 0. That went really quick.
It did go really good.
Top 12 under a second. That's very good.
Yeah, that is good. Very, very good.
I've noticed that King of Noobs is still having a vehicle collision problem, so I'm not sure what the go is there. That was an exciting session. So Ben Hall takes pole position for the 3rd time this season, but only just over RSM Latino. That was a hard-fought session.
Yeah, it's very tight at the top. Top 4 cars covered by 2/10. It's and it's less than a tenth to each car that they're behind. So that's going to make the racing really, really good.
Ben Hall said in the chat, come on, let's go. Had to push hard on that lap. So there's a bit of intel from his bunker. It sets up a very exciting race as he had to push pretty hard to get that number done. So it's a 22-lap race here. So this first race is going to be a bit of tyre conservation, I'd imagine. I don't know. But they should last easily, but obviously you're not going to be able to abuse them early on, or you're not going to have much left at the end.
Yeah, it's all about rears here. Keeping the rears on the car, a lot of traction zones. So, yeah, that'll definitely be the cause of concern. But, yeah, as you said, the tyres should make it easily, but it's all about keeping the performance on them throughout the race. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
front left here almost has a holiday, so...
Yeah, and I was just about to make the comment that the right rear gets the massive pounding. So... it's all a learning curve for these guys. I'm sure they'll get on top of it. I mean, SMP is a tyre eater and they all lasted there pretty well, so I'd say tonight be a bit the same, but yeah, they just got to manage that right rear and keep the thing on the black stuff, and you should get a good result.
Yeah, that's it.
In the racing, of course, is very, very close here with the slipstream. So it's a bit about tactics. You know, where to be in the right place at the right time. It's like oval racing, steady. And what are your favourites?
Yeah, it is about being in the right place at the right time. It is a bit like an oval racing track. I know last year here in the main series races, I sort of did the old oval racing tactic of backing up the field and trying to make a race of it for everyone. So, but yeah, you've really got to play into it, because up these straights you can get a big draft and it's not too difficult to pass. But that said, it still isn't the easiest, because you can very easily make a huge mistake and take out your competitor while going for an overtake here. I've noticed there's some people doing some practice starts, it looks like. Which is good to see. I'm using the warm-up wisely.
Well, some of these guys have never done a race start in this series, so it'll be interesting to see how they go off the line.
I'm just trying to have a gander at some of our newer liveries. So that Liam Budd livery we haven't seen before, with the Shane Warne tribute on both the Vivid Esports cars on the bonnet, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, very nice touch.
Obviously that was a sad thing that happened a few weeks ago. having
So
a bit
these
of a
guys
race.
are, yeah, and you definitely don't want to do that in the race.
No, you don't want to be doing that in the race. See, or something else you don't want to be doing in the race is Brody Caton has gone off the road. I hope I said that right. I have a notoriously profound thing for managing to pronounce people's names wrong in this broadcast, so apologies. As I will apologise later to Brandon Dostal, who is P1 in this session. I've been pronouncing his name wrong for a year and a bit, apparently.
Very good.
What could you do, really?
That's racing, I guess.
It is. Sometimes you put N's where they shouldn't be, and when you're pronouncing someone's name.
That's a scary thought. Putting an N somewhere it shouldn't be and pronouncing a name wrong.
It is. As Brap goes to the top of warm-up, so this is the new livery as well for the green top Dare Ice coffee, powered by Dare Ice coffee machine. So you can see the, I believe that picture on the bonnet is a picture of a Barra engine, but someone would have to confirm that for me.
That's fantastic.
Well, I don't think it's done him any favours down the back straight.
No, not so far. But you know, that's the consequences when you've got a Ford engine in your motor vehicle. You know, you're always going to lose a bit of top end.
Yeah, they might have to wind up the boost. But then the thing will probably launch itself, so.
So good to see some new liveries for this round and updated liveries. So Tim
After the
Redmond-
race, Luke, you might have to go down to Scrutineer and get him to go over the lift on that Barra engine.
Yeah, might have to put it on the dyno, I think. Yeah, it's a bit sus, I think, but we'll press on and see how they go.
Well, we're getting ready, and one thing we haven't done yet, predictions, boys.
Oh, I think I'm going to go with your old man, Cole, Steve Warwick. I think
Yep.
he showed some great consistency in the practice and great pace in qualifying, so I'm going to put my bets on him.
I'm going to go with RSM Latino, boys. He's a very experienced runner. He's a good bloke, and I reckon he's going to pull off a win here. It's been a while between drinks for him in Super 2.
Yeah, for myself, I've got to do the team thing here. It's going to be one of the Warwick cars.
Ready? You ready?
The Warwick
Wow.
Racing Team car.
We've had Tim Redmond pick Ben Hall in the chat, so our bets are edged each ways, but I guess I'll take us through the grid or first 10 or however you guys want to work this.
Yeah, however you want to do it, mate. You can go first 10. I'll take the rest from there.
No worries. So on the pole position once again is Ben Hall for Luke McHugh Racing. Got the lap in, and that's an awesome job. That's 3 poles in a row in this series so far. Second on the grid is RSM Latino returning this round to Super 2 with Steve Warwick for Blackshaws, his teammate, starting out of P3. P4 we've got Cam Parrett. He'll be a strong runner tonight as well, I'm guessing, with Brap out of P5. That's a good result for him. Nathan Pinkerton, another solid 6th place, with Keegan Sykes out of 7th. Liam Budd out of 8th for Vivid Esports. Damo makes his debut to Super 2 in P9. And Matt Cecil rounds out the top 10.
And in 11th place, and didn't make the grid, is Brendan Dostal. That's unfortunate. He'll be looking to come through the field there. In 12th place, we've got Michael Pollard. In 13th, we have Luke Jager. I believe it's his debut in this Super 2 series tonight. In 14th, Lachlan Horan in the KO car. 15th place, we have Kai Jones in the Monster Energy car. 16th place, Dodger, who, yeah, he hasn't made it out on the grid either.
Yeah, I'm hearing that he's got some kind of an issue that I don't know about right now.
Wow, that's a shame. 17th is Denny, and he's diving in the lane as well. Not sure what's going on there. A claim bite as well. There's a few guys diving for the lane.
Yeah, not kind of sure what's going on here. These guys.
Yeah, maybe they just want to stay out of trouble. We've got Jordan DeSantis in 20th, Brody Catton in 21st.
Well, we're going green anyway, each ways.
And here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
So, Ben Hall gets the jump and leads us away into turn 1. As RSM Latino's gone off the road, and that's allowed, he's going to lose multiple spots here.
Yeah, here we go.
Already has.
Ben Hall's already got a massive lead. He's already second out in front. As these guys continue to battle here, that's been a very, very poor start for Cuz. I've put the mocker on him.
Here we go. Bit of the draft effect. See what will happen here.
Oh, big dramas. Oh,
He's off.
I don't know how has Higo saved that? Can we just make mention of that? But Cam Parrett's been shuffled back.
Yeah, Cam Parrett got a bit of help from Higo, and as a result, Higo got sideways, but yeah, somehow saved it. But Cam Parrett would be happy with that. He got down to P8.
Yeah, the race has gone off here. Up 3 spots, Matt Cecil.
He is
Seventh
now.
place.
Cam Parrett's diving back down the inside.
Oh.
No contact with the back of Latino, but he's going to get the move done. It's all going off here. Damo's in amongst this as well. He's looking to make a move on Mike Pollard.
Looked like Latino struggled to get off the exit there. I wonder if he accidentally plucked it into neutral.
He did, and now Cam Parrett and Matt Cecil sideways. So everybody's having a big slide.
Oh,
There's something going on in the background as well.
getting some help there on the exit of the last corner.
Oh, and Michael
He's
Pollard.
off the road again.
Oh!
Don't know where to look. There's racing everywhere. There's a bonnet just flying. That looked like
There is
Stenny's
that-
bonnet.
It is the Stenny bonnet of the FU racing car. I'm trying to find him.
Looks
Here
like
he
we've
is
gone
here.
safety car.
He's off the road. Yeah, we do have a safety car, and we've also got the server doing some interesting things. It's gone to 1 FPS. So this is not a great positive sign, yeah, for this race, but it looks like it's unlagged itself, but it's having some remarkable difficulties.
I'd say because of the accident, it's probably caused it to just drop for that second and then probably
Yeah,
come
it's
back.
dropped for that second and it spazzed itself out, but the timing looks to have corrected itself now. So we get a moment to breathe with the safety car out.
What a hectic start.
Not wrong, as I've just seen a claim bite off the road at massive pace for some reason. So a bit confused as to what the hell's going on here.
Yeah, I think whole field, Steve and Ben owe the whole field a beer for that, because all the squabbling behind them allowed them to have a pretty hefty buffer.
Well, that it did. Now we've got it. Now we've got 3 seconds to have a look. We'll have a bit of a gander at the order. It's Ben Hall currently leading from Steve Warwick with Nathan Higginson in P3. So he's had a huge gain there. I don't know how after that thing on lap 1. That was unbelievable that he's got out of that alive. Brapp's up a spot. Keegan Sykes is up a couple of spots, and Cam Parrett and Latino were the big losers of that big whole exchange that we saw on the opening laps. Then from here on
Liam
backwards. Here
Matt
on back,
Cecil in 9.
about to say this is where all the guys were just quietly plodding along, and trying to stay out of trouble that was being created in front of them.
Dostal's done alright from starting from pit lane to being P16.
He has?
Out on the couple.
He has, because he would have been a sector behind, so he would have been half a lap behind before the start of the safety car. So, being the pit lane start puts you... It puts you, he wouldn't be allowed to go. The green light would have gone when he got, the leader got to the hairpin. So, good effort so far. So
Yeah, he's got some pretty good pace underneath that car, so he should be able to skip through the order and maybe get a top 10. Wait and see.
It looks like Stenny has retired from the race after that incident under the safety, caused the safety car. Unsure as to what actually happened there.
Dostal's best lap is a 53.6, and as it stands, that would be the 5th quickest car on track.
Wow.
Here we go, safety car in.
Safety car is in, is that correct?
Lights are off.
Green,
Yep,
green,
here we go.
green.
Short safety car period. As seen Damo receive a penalty, I'm going to have to leave you guys to call this. While I fix some issues.
No problem as we go green for the restart. Looks relatively clean so far. Ben got a great jump. Looked like Steve was asleep there.
He's looking to have a move. Oh, barging the hairpin, but Steve prevails. He'll leave the door open for Higo, as he should.
Yeah, Steve's got to try and get back onto Ben Hall here so he can get that big suck from the car in front.
Yeah, Higo sort of compromised himself in the last corner. Oh, he's really off the circuit. He'll have to pull it up there and capitalise on that mistake, but they press on to lap 7.
Sorry guys for the crappy frame rate, just trying to rectify an issue.
We'll keep an eye on the first sector here to see. Looks visually that Steve's pulling Ben back in, so, and it's proved he's gone 2/10 quicker the first sector.
Yeah, Steve seems to be consistent here. I think he has the pace to make some time on Ben, but as I said before in the telecast, it's real hard to make time around here. We've only, what, 5 corners, so...
As Higo runs it off the road.
Oh, again! Careful of the rejoin, Higo. Yeah, good job.
He might have a brake drama in that car. Yeah, look at that. Steve Warwick, fastest lap of the race. That'll, Ben Hall will probably hear that over the radio, and he'll have to put his head down and try and match it.
Yeah, he'll definitely be in such short range now. As Steve runs the high line. Ben Hall running the opposite. Or inside of the corner. So yeah, just whatever works for you. Let's head down the last corner.
Sorry guys, I've just been busy doing some admin things that the safety car created.
Is that another? It looks like a claim bike's just parked at the last couple of corners there on the grass. I don't know if the car's stationary or because there was a yellow flag there last lap as well.
It says he's not in the server anymore, so I'm unsure as to what's going on.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
Not responded, the gap's out to a second.
Yeah, that's
Steve made a mistake
big
there.
lap. 52.4 over the 52.7. They're the only two guys in the 52s at the moment, so.
I'm going to go back to the front. Now I've got somewhat... Oh, there's a bit of a battle going on here. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
just
trying to get my
this.
bearings on what's going on everywhere. noticed that Bob Carr is DNF from the race as well. You can see the gap that Ben Hall's currently got over the field.
Yeah, he goes pressing on here. He's overtaking Ian Sykes and he's on the back of Harrison Latino. Trying to claw back from the mistake he made in the last corner.
Steve's made a mistake in the first sector. He was 1.3 seconds off. Oh, there's an accident there.
Going on here. Yeah, Kai Jones went into the fence. I just thought I'd drag us away for a split second off Higo's move. Higo's now on the defence down here.
Oh, there's a car on the outside of the last corner. Spiro's had a drama.
He has, yeah. He's currently stationary, so I'm unsure as to what's going on there. He's currently, I think he's letting everyone go.
Yeah, good job. It's quite hard at the circuit. The field's pretty compressed, so it's quite difficult to find a gap in the traffic, but he's on his way.
That is.
A few guys on that last lap setting personal best, so I'd say for a few of the guys, the tyres are starting to come up to 10.
Yeah, Ben Hall's really pressed on now. Gaps up to 3 seconds. As he's cleared. It's Damo in the yacht replica livery.
Yeah, Damo unfortunately got nabbed by some strange penalty under the safety car that I wasn't unsure of what the go was with that. Some of the things I was working on trying to clear.
I think it's a P4 now. I saw Cameron Parrett made a massive mistake in the last corner. And the first time he's done that in this race, so it's going to be a difficult corner for him.
Yeah, that's correct.
That Jaeger's made a big mistake and he's in the
Oh!
Saw the huge lock-up in our other shot, so I dragged us forward and yeah. But now Dostal, he's continuing his climb back through the field after that early incident.
Yeah, we're looking, which way is he going to go? Got to make the choice early of what you're going to do.
What are you doing? Oh, Haran.
Oh, they're both off the road.
Both front wide. So, it's not what you want to be doing, and now that's allowed, after all that, it's allowed Jaeger back into this. Saracen Latino is now under threat from Cuz, and we've got a car off down at the hairpin. I think that's Brody Caxton. So this is currently a yellow flag zone, although I think he's just got going. Or has the yellow flag cleared itself?
I believe it has.
So, a few people finding some dramas. Yeah, he has got going again. Ben Hall continues to lead this race on pure pace.
I just want to make a comment, guys. Ben Hall must have made a mistake in the first sector because he did a 19.6, whereas Steve did an 18.4.
Yeah, I think Steve is definitely the faster car, but he's been consistent. So, like I said before, if you can nail it down and do some pretty good lap times, he'll definitely catch Ben Hall. It's just a matter of time. Matter of time left, should I say, in the race for him.
As Nathan Higginson is now, he's sideways, but he's all over the back of Brap, so he's making excellent use of these tyres. Probably a bit too much use of the tyres, but it's working for him so far.
Yeah, he's just got to nail his exits here. He's getting poor exits, which is not enabling him to A, keep in the slipstream, and B, get a better run than Brap. So he needs to really concentrate on the exit here. He's going to come down to the hairpin.
And he's up there.
It's enabled Ego to get by him.
I don't think it's done yet.
I don't think this is over either, boys.
outside line here.
Oh, yep, he's got it
trying
done.
to cut back, but I think he got it done.
So we've got a car off in the first sector again. Green top car's having some struggles.
Must be the Barrett end.
It's not been a good night for him so far. Been a few people find trouble. It is a tight track and it's very easy to make a big mistake. In the background though, Cam Parrett's now going for a move on Brap, so...
Oh, Brap's nearly in the fence there.
He is.
Just want to point out also the gap at the front is down to almost half a second.
It is, yes. It's really closed down, so it's now down to almost 4/10. So I'm not sure what's happened here with Ben Hall, but looks like he might be struggling for tyres or...
Last lap he did a 53.1, Steve did a 52.7, and then on this lap 19.0 to the first sector versus an 18.5. And now Steve's all over him, 53.4 versus a 52.8, so he's all over him now.
Yeah, Steve's definitely the heave on as they come to the hairpin.
He's going very defensive, has Ben Hall. He's got 5 laps more to defend to this if he wants to hold on. First time he's had a lot of pressure on him in this series, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes with that pressure.
Oh, Steve's gonna have a look. But thinks better of it, backs out of it. So,
He just needs to be patient. He just needs to be patient. The move will come. As we see right there, there's a mistake. And there's another. You just got to keep the pressure on here, because I think Ben's worrying about his tyres and the car behaviour. For Steve, he's just got to drive consistent.
Sacrificing his exit on the back straight, which is so important here. So
100%, mate.
But Steve definitely applying the pressure on.
We've got Brap coming back now for a move on Cam Parrett. So this isn't over yet either for the back end of the top 5.
Similar paint schemes. Just Parrett's got a bit more red on it.
Yeah,
Very similar base colour.
very similar base colour. You don't see too many browny sort of creamy cars, so it's an odd one.
It's just a bit of house paint.
Oh, and there's the lap car that's got involved in this, and that was Ben Hall then having to defend quite majorly to Steve Warwick.
Yeah, gap down to 0.3 and closing.
And Ben Hall half defending.
Yeah, he's driving in the middle of the road.
Yes, it's an interesting strategy. You know, you don't want to defend until it's basically... You don't want to defend too early in these conditions because you psych yourself out of it. And you let the guy behind you... You let the guy behind you gets more aggressive and he goes... He knows that I know he's looking in the mirror, so I'm going to attack even more. That's how I approach these kind of situations.
Exactly, yep. He is right on him here.
He is, and Ben Hall's just locked the rears. Oh, he's really, really struggling. It's a good battle
But
going
somehow
on.
he's got a better exit.
Yeah, not sure how. Would have expected the rears to be superheated then.
Maybe Steve anticipated he might have been going off and he didn't.
It's still on. It's on for both these positions here.
Rears, Steve in the last corner.
Gonna have to go to this though, with Brap and Cam Parrett. Don't know where to look right now. As Brap's trying to get up the inside of Parrett. The local yellow flying at turn 1 for Brap's teammate. Who is off the right.
Hello, kitty.
Hello, cat.
Steve just can't get the drive out of the corner. That's what's costing him here.
Looks like he's got a little bit better run this time.
Yeah, he's definitely closer this time around.
Yeah, look at this. It's down to a 10.
It's on now.
He's going to try and go around the outside here. Is he going to be able to do it? You can do it here, but you've got to go in deep. Either that or he can go over under, but Ben has paid that perfectly so far.
And Steve's going to run wide there.
You can see the top wheel getting off the ground through that corner. That's a good shot. Oh, he's into the back of him. This is the final lap.
Oh,
there's a
no!
parked car on the road. Oh!
Oh!
And that's just killed it for Steve.
Oh, dramas.
I'm gonna get a. No, it's actually.
Oh,
looks like it's actually popped the motor for Steve. Or is that?
Or is it the...
It's a
It
puncher.
might be a
It could
tyre.
It could be a tyre. Well, I was gonna go to a replay, but we'll stay in the watching this for now. See if he makes it home because he's got Higo to contend with. But Ben Hall is going to come and he's going to pick his third race win of the season, but he hasn't done it easy. Steve Warwick is limping home. He's going to face big troubles here from Higo. He might still hang on to this, but it's going to be a hard one. Higo's trying to push him out of the way. Higo, drag race! I think Higo's got him. Higo's got Steve Warwick there on the line. So, Cam Parrett P4, Brat P5, Keegan Sykes P6, Liam Budd 7th, Michael Pollard 8th, Harrison Latino down in 9th, and Matt Cecil rounds out the 10. Good try from Dostal. Man, oh man, I've got to get a replay of that final lap for everybody to watch. It's only 14 cars on the lead lap by the looks of it. After that ordeal. Just going to hunt for a replay of what happened. So we saw the lap cars during the race and one of them finally played a big part in the result.
And here we go.
So we're going to do a
RSM
replay.
Yeah, just loose off the curb.
Oh, it's just got loose.
Oh.
Really, you can't really. Yeah, you got nowhere to go there. It's a pretty blind.
We'll just get a view from the Warwick machine as I've hit the wrong button. So that's all good. That's good talent from the director. Just going to see if I can get an onboard from Steve Warwick's car, but I smashed the replay button instead of the cockpit change camera button. You get that on the big jobs. I don't think we're going to be able to find that.
Yeah, the director's having a bit of a heave here.
See what we can do. I've got this now, actually. So here we go. On board with Steve Warwick here. And as you can see, it's loaded. He's on the throttle. He's trying to get a run. Not much you can do there. That's unfortunate. The director has no idea what he's doing.
Well, guys, that was a great race.
It was, but it was a very, very interesting one. That's enough to be said. Did not expect that to happen.
That's Tasmania.
So I've got an answer to the Dodger acclaim by its Denny problem. They were having some massive frame issue they were complaining about, apparently on the gridding and change to race, that made it so the cars were practically undrivable, which is why they had an accident. So I'm not sure what's going on there with those three. Unfortunate to hear. Dodger didn't make the start, and the other two tried to pit to stay out of trouble on the opening lap, and it obviously didn't clear itself. So not great. But yeah, we didn't catch what happened to Stenny, but that shunt absolutely lagged the server to pieces. So I'm not sure. He must have hit a wall very hard because it nearly crashed the server. So, we've now got another 10-minute quali session followed by another 14-lap race. The shorter race will definitely be interesting because I feel like that will actually play into Ben Hall's strengths. I feel like he struggled for tyres there towards the end of that one.
Yeah, the gap was... It was pretty close, of course, at the beginning of the race, and it went out to, 3 seconds, and yeah, it sort of washed out towards the end. Steve was being pretty consistent on the tyres. So, yeah, if anything go off the playbook, it should be Ben Hall with not an easy win, but certainly the advantage coming into the next race.
Yeah, you can't put a foot wrong at the moment. He's been driving pretty well, and that's why he's got the orange numbers on the car. Another race win, and I'm sure he'll be looking to do it again.
For sure. Expected RSM Latino to have more of an impact on that race, but yeah, it just sort of fell off throughout the race and was, of course, caught up in a few incidents. Same as Cam Parrett. Certainly got bullied in the early stages there with Higo and a few others at the last quarter.
Well, it's interesting because he's on the front row. I mean, he's ended up, I think he finished P7 or something. So, yeah, not sure what happened there. They'll have to go back to the drawing board on that car and get it tuned up.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of cars throughout the night having issues at the last quarter. It seems like a pretty easy braking zone, but really it's not because coming up the back end of a long straight, the brake temperature is actually quite cold, so braking performance is pretty limited, if not pretty inconsistent throughout the stint. So yeah, it is a pretty difficult braking zone.
Yeah, no, it's completely right. You put your foot on the pedal and it feels like you're not going to stop, and then all of a sudden the brake performance comes back in the middle of the stop, and I guess that's what's catching them out when they get a little bit of rear locking, is that's when the brakes come back up to temp. And naturally with these cars, the rear temp is a little higher than the front. Not sure why. That's how AMS works, but yeah, and that's what's catching a few people out.
Yeah, same can be said for the hairpin as well. Most of the time, you're heading in there on the full on the rears like a go-kart. So yeah, it definitely makes it for some interesting racing. But yeah, it's just something you got to deal with, and something you can certainly alleviate with a bit of car setup, but something you can't completely avoid.
100%, my friend. As I believe we've got just over a minute left in this practice session before we go into another qualifying session for race 2.
Hey, I'm back, guys. Sorry, I just had to leave the booth for a split second. Yeah, we just got a short practice session just to let everyone come back in and reset. A few people had some dramas, so just following up those problems, and they all seem to be rectified, which is good news.
Guys on the back straight doing some practice starts. Higo here. That's a pretty good launch. definitely an art in these cars starting them.
It definitely is.
Nice and smooth off the line.
Oh, sorry, we've had a issue. It definitely is an art. It's something that I wouldn't say I'm particularly good at, but this track I've always traditionally actually got good starts, so funnily enough. It's a short run. It's
Yeah, and to
one
throw
of
in
the
the mix too, just the different ratios you can have in the car. Of course, having a longer ratio requires a bit more clutch riding, whereas the shorter ratio, it's less, but it's also quite easy to spin the rear wheels up. So yeah, it's a lot of factors to get right, a lot of factors to consider, and yeah, it's definitely an art.
It is definitely an art. As I say, I find it easier normally with the shorter ratios in Automobilista because I sort of err on the way of, well, if I get wheel spin, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's better than dogging it. So, but on the taller ratios, I seem to not always get it right. But this track's got a very short run to turn one, but it's also very important because a little mistake, you can just get boxed in and end up in a drama you don't want to be in.
Well, we saw that the last race with RSM Latino didn't have the greatest of starts, and all of a sudden him, Cam Parrett, were down near the back end of the 10 after
Exactly.
starting. Well, one was on the front row and one was on the second row, so
You just get parcelled off the road at turn one by everybody who, you know, not necessarily making desperate dives, but they're all making dives for position. And if you're the one that's going slower than everyone and you get caught offline, well, you just get freight trained by every single person the whole first lap until you can actually get into a rhythm.
So we see everybody returning to the garage, getting the qualifying setup dialed into the car, ready for a quick fire 10 minutes. And once again, we'll have to be mindful of traffic. So it's all about timing your run and picking your run and when to go.
That it definitely is.
The top half of these guys, they're pretty good at doing that, but yeah, sometimes you just get caught in other people's hurdles. So
Well, that's it. It's all about, you know, if you're a faster guy, it's all about leaving space and trying to set yourself up for space. But you never know what's going to happen. People make mistakes. People come out of pit lane. You know, track like this it's almost impossible to try and make free space for yourself, even considering all those other factors when there's 23 odd cars out there.
yeah, in such a short track, I mean under a minute, well, nearly sub 50 seconds. It's yeah. Did you see one car rolling down the lane? That's
Two cars.
a penalty.
It's also a penalty for crossing the line at the red light.
Who did
So
that?
that's gonna
Who committed that offence?
That was Bob Carr, so we'll be copying a pretty hefty penalty from the stewards.
Yep.
Gather.
Yep, that is a pretty hefty penalty. It's been outlined in the rules since 2019, what's expected of everyone.
And he's looped it.
So, but qualifying is underway, and it won't even matter because it won't count his first lap. He has looped it and gone back to pit lane, but it doesn't count your first lap if you pass the first sector on your out lap by the time the red light's calling out. So, as I would know, because I used to be a prolific person of going out when the red light was on in pit lane in R Factor. Hence why the rule is there to alleviate people doing that and trying to gain extra track time.
That's right.
Plus, it just makes it a bit more realistic and, you know, lets everyone get sorted properly, not just a big rush to hit the go button, get out of the lane.
Well, that's it. It gives everyone a fair chance to get out on the track and then pick your gap and go, rather than causing a catastrophe.
Talking about that, we see Ben Hall's already caught traffic. There's a car exiting the pit lane. So when he's flashed the lights, he's not impressed by it. Oh, he's trying to get it. Oh, there's been an accident because he's trying to get past.
Oh, that is...
So he's going to abort that lap.
That's just not really ideal, is it?
No, not really, but it's not been a good start to his session, that's for sure. You see Steve Warwick and Cam Parrett both going down the back straight, and Symmons in front of them. Keegan Sykes in there in behind. So we'll see Rapp has gone to the top on a 52.4. That's a good number to start the session.
Definitely is very good.
Higginson only .004. .004 to Higginson.
Steve Warwick, Cam Parrett don't do great numbers on their first lap.
No, I'd say they were affected by traffic.
Potentially, there's a lot of it out there. As we see Bob Carr going the fence yet again.
I think
On the lap.
they're giving out some penalties for not being wary of other people on laps.
Yes. I believe there probably will have to be some qualifying contact with that. Normally everyone's pretty good in qualifying and tries to get out of the way, but see Keegan Sykes, he's up on the lap, and I'm seeing Ben Hall starting a lap now, so I'm keeping an eye on that. Sort of flew under the radar in that last one, Keegan Sykes. He has raced with us before, I believe, last year. So he goes to P4.
I believe he has. We see Ben now, half a second down.
Yes, I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, no, it's good to have Keegan Sykes back. We've got a 2-car attack for Cinecom Motorsports in this series, as well as their 1 car in the main game for Aiden Sykes. So he's actually up by quite a margin, is Keegan Sykes. I'm pretty sure he raced here last year in main series.
Pretty sure he did too. You're getting a big toe.
There are a few minor things going on with the server, it just seems. There's a bit of lag. I'm hoping that's not herbicide. Looks like it should be. Keegan improves.
Yeah, I think Rapp was on the lap, not affected by that lag. I think he just was in the fence of the hairpin quite hard, so he had to abort that one.
See, Higo.
Out again, have another crack at it.
Higo went purple to the middle sector, 17.6.
He goes fastest.
Goes to P2.
He's got steady there when he's...
Probably should have just backed out of it. No one really lighting up the timing charts at the moment. Getting a lot of red. RSM Latino looks like he's on a better lap.
He is, he's just improved, he's gone to P5. Just trying to see that's Nathan Higginson, and he's gone off on his out lap. There's cars off everywhere. Keenan Sykes is trying to go for a lap.
Ben Hall at the moment only in P7.
Yeah, so he's not put down what would we describe as a representative number for him yet.
With just over 4 minutes to go. It looks like he's going to catch traffic again here. See yellow flag, someone off the hairpin.
There he is, he's up by a mile. He's going to get balked here by Stenny.
I think he might get an advantage here.
He could get a big draft here, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens down here. He's up by a long way, but is he going to be able to get into the corner?
Well, he's got it in there. Let's see if he goes to pole on this lap. Be quite spectacular if he did with a pass.
He has.
And he does.
He's gone P1.
Wow.
That's a good lap.
Too,
oh.
so it's very Probably 2 tenths in that lap at the last quarter, which is quite impressive.
There is, and Stenny had a big accident, and that Damo having a big accident too, so a few people going off all over the shop. What's Higo got to deliver for us? No improvement. Perhaps on an outlap. Steve is on an outlap.
Yeah, Higo's, that lap time for Higo's still his banker, so he's definitely got a bit more in that lap, but yeah, he's can't seem to find a clear run.
Interesting to note, Steve Warwick went purple to the first sector. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. He must have bailed on that lap. Looks like he's missing a bonnet.
He does look like he's missing a bonnet, so I'm not sure what's happened there.
Yeah, have to come into that damage, surely.
Just sticking fluid. I've only got one computer at the minute to be able to look through everybody. And I don't have any live timing.
Brap looks like he's set a PB to the first.
Not to the second, but can be deceiving because you can go in too deep at the first sector, get a good time, and then lose it all on exit.
Two six. It's Ben Hall at the top at the moment. Steve continuing to stay out there with the bonnet off the car.
It's an odd choice, but he's up on his own test.
He looks like he got a pretty good hairpin then.
He did. I'm currently also now watching Ben Hall. Ben Hall isn't up. A few people now going out for their last runs, so we'll be interested to see how everyone goes. Can I just make a note that Brandon Dostal is up into P3. That's an
Ben Hall's
impressive.
gone quicker.
Has he just?
Oh, he has.
2-2
52
Ben Hall, so
He
like I
has.
predicted there was 2 tenths in that final sector, and he's found that time and he's improved, so good job.
Steve Warwick's gone up to P3 as well. Cam Parrett's on a better lap. Ben Hall's gone back to the lane. He might get out for another lap here. He's going to be pushing it to do it. Steve Warwick is up on the first sector of all time. As we mustn't have correct splits on this other computer.
See how he fares the final corner. That's where all the time is in the last sector, obviously.
Oh,
He's a bit down on Ben Hall.
He's turned it in well.
Yeah, up on his PB, but let's see what he can do.
Let's run wide. No. Oh,
Improves.
so close.
52-3-2-1. So good job by Steve.
You go up to P3.
We'll improve on that.
Cam Parrett on a lap. Ben Hall's coming around to start a lap with 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, Steve's down to the first sector, so the tyres are gone on that. I think that was his fourth run on the tyres. He went to P2.
Higginson is
Big slide from Cameron there.
no improvement.
So he'll stay P4.
Keeping an eye on Higginson, and I've got Ben Hall tuned in as well. He's on his final run, and he's
He
up
goes
by
up.
2 tenths.
Oh, he's 2 tenths up. This is a big lap by Ben Hall.
Nathan
He can
Higginson, though,
carry
could
it
improve
through.
here. He could put himself on the front row of the grid. What does he do? And he goes to pole position. Nathan Higginson.
52-1.
Good job.
And Ben Hall
And
is
Ben
no
Hall
longer
is
up.
down.
Ben Hall is down. And he's lost it. So there's going to be Nathan Higginson steals the pole position at the death.
That's unbelievable. Ben Hall completely screwed the second sector.
That's
He's not gonna
impressive.
improve.
That's impressive. I
That's
did not
unbelievable.
expect that. That's come out of nowhere there from Higo on the final lap in qualifying, and he's nailed it. And that's a pretty good number as well.
It all
Yeah,
came
10th
from the
over
middle
Ben Hall.
sector. The middle sector, he
10th,
nailed it.
Yeah, 10th over Ben Hall, and that a 10th here is actually quite a lot of time when you think about it. A 10th here is 3 or 4 tenths and another.
He's done a
venue,
17.6
so
to the middle
job.
sector. I've only done a
70.
I've only done a 17.5, boys. Myself, that's my best, and he's done a 17.6 to the fifth middle sector. He's a 10th off. He's a 10th off myself.
I'm pretty sure that's half a second quicker than Thomas McMillan could have managed last night.
I believe it
Yeah, we'll
actually is.
press
It is, but we'll press on. Now that's an impressive sector, and as everyone, I mean, I was pole sitter here last year, and I was also the fastest in the middle sector. So he's absolutely wiped everyone in the middle sector there to do that lap. So very impressive. But that sets up an interesting race. We've seen Ben Hall dominate from the front. What's he going to do now that he's starting still on the front row, but not in the pole position?
Yeah, I think that Ben Hall car is definitely more of a qualifying car. Of course, we saw it sort of chew through its tyres in that longer race. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he had some brilliant pace in the first race. He had to fight back from his mistake at the final quarter. So, I mean, we're set for a very interesting and entertaining race, I think.
I think we are. Higo had some good pace. This shorter race should suit him with his, how do we say it, his over-exuberance on the tyre, extravagant use of the tyres.
Surface to road mediums. Yeah, I mean, Steve is obviously, very fast, quite consistent. Made a few mistakes over the first race, but he should cling on to these guys. And I mean, even Cameron Parrett and Brendan Dostal's done a brilliant job to put the Holden Commodore in P5. So yeah, for a thriller, I reckon.
I think we are, and Dostal really is the wild card here. Like, he's raced with us before. He raced main game here last year, but and he was pretty strong in the last round, but I did not seriously expect him to be up there amongst these, the top 5 guys in this series are all pretty experienced now. Ben Hall and Cam Parrett are coming on strong. Steve and Latino have been here, I think, since the first season, made their debuts. And so, they're experienced guys. Higo's been around a while now as well, and Dostal hasn't done as much racing, but he's up there, and he had the pace in the last one after charging through the field from the back all the way to 11th. So we'll see what he can do now. He's actually up there amongst the guys that he's on the same similar pace of. Mr. Walshy 73 said Timmy's just scouting for some tips before his race in 3 weeks. It's alright, I'm happy to give out as many tips as possible to anybody. Except Luke Rosella.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Tim needs a few tips around here. I think he's pretty much an alien in AMS, so if anything, he should be giving tips to the other young guys. But no, yeah, I was quite cracked, as you would say, leading into the weekend. Of course, good old Steady in the commentary box gives out a setup every week, Super 2 to help the guys, and of course, me being a fierce competitor in the main game, I would like to get my grubby hands on that set. I've heard it's quite good, but I was unfortunately I was blocked entry from the Super 2 chat in the Discord where the setup is, of course, located. So yeah,
I can confirm this. Yes. And there was also a message put on there that that I'll read out to the broadcast, just to let you know how deadly serious I am. And it says, "There is to be no sharing of this setup to Luke Rosella," was the message posted with the setup.
Yeah.
Mainly because he kept asking me for it, so,
Yeah, so it looks like I just have to make my own setup, which I'm useless at, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, you've just been piggybacking off myself for the last few rounds, so... or Cole. So you know, thought we'd. I thought I'd make you actually have to go out in the wilderness and do something.
Oh, yeah, we'll press on and see what we can do, I guess, next Monday.
You blokes, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to separate you two.
Yeah, we've got a few dramas after
Okay.
last round. I was not happy with Luke's driving. Luke wasn't happy with mine, but that's racing.
Oh, well, I thought my moves were pretty clean. I don't know about Stenny. Stenny thought I was out there to kill him.
Well, I know you were out there to
But
kill people
yeah.
in pit lane and marshals because I've seen the replays.
Oh,
Luke-
look, yeah,
Luke
it gets
Rosello's
pretty
a bit-
heated out there, and
Yeah, Luke Rosello's a bit used to iRacing nowadays, and he just drives through people in pit lane like they don't exist. So that's what happens when you're on the big jobs, I guess.
yeah, so, yeah, exactly right.
As Scott Nolan says, they need a room because they're both brick Daz. Fair enough.
Get to see Scotty in the live chat.
It's good to see.
Watching the stream. Oh, you out there, Scotty? Make your return to V8 Supercar racing on AMS.
Yeah, we'd love to see Scotty out here having a go.
Yeah, that we would. He's a solid driver. He's a better SSR driver than Luke Rosella, so...
No comment.
As there's 30 seconds left on the countdown time for the start of the race. So we have
Yeah,
Higo
30 seconds
on the
left.
front row.
On the totem pole.
Higo's just gone back to pit lane quickly, but he's back out there now. So I'll let somebody else take the top 10 and I can do the rest, or whoever wants to speak, I'll let them speak. I think Luke would
I'll
be
do
right if I
the
didn't
first
speak.
10.
Let's give the new bloke, the apprentice, a bit of a go here.
Relax. Hit your
Yeah,
apexes
hopefully I
and
don't break
let's
anything.
bring home a win
Okay,
today.
so Nathan Higginson, his first pole of Super 2, I think. Ben
Correct.
Hall in P2, closely behind. P3, we have Steve Warwick from the Textiles RSM Racing Team. Cam Parrett in P4. P5, Brandon Dostal. Of course, it's good to see him actually start the race. Race 1, he had to start from the pits. Wrap in position number 6, RSM with Tino in P7. Kenan Sykes in the first of the Simcom Motorsport Outdoors will be in position 8. P9, we find Liam Budd. And rounding out the top 10, we have Matt Cecil from Mid Sim Sports. Cole, take it away.
Sure thing, mate. In P11, we got Michael Pollard in the Vivid Esports Nissan Altima. P12, followed up by the other Vivid Esports Nissan, is Lachlan Horan. P13, we have Damo in the KSS Nomads FGX Falcon. P14 is his teammate Luke Yeager. P15 is Dodger in the brilliant Jack Daniels Commodore. It's been around for a couple of years now.
Been pretty famous at this
P16,
venue.
yeah, it definitely was. P16, Kai Jones, another Vivid Esports Nissan. P17 is a Claim Bite in the trusty Ford Racing Falcon. P18 is Stenny in the ever so bright sponsored Commodore. P19 is one of the newcomers, still learning the cars, Spyro in the Green Top Motorsports car. P20, got Brody Catton. P21, Jordan DeSantis. P22 is Bob Carr.
And that's our field. They try and get on the grid properly. So I've just noticed at the front of the grid, Higo's angled his car right over to Ben Hall, so he's made his intentions very clear here.
Game should started already before the lights even go out here. It's
Don't know why you do that. I don't particularly am one to subscribe to pointing your car towards others. I think it just compromises yourself. It's my honest view,
Yeah.
but
That's right.
every time I've seen someone do it, they've got a terrible start. So
Yeah, these cars don't like on power to lock on, so
he's got the lock
we'll see how he
pointed on
fares
the
with
car
that.
as well. He's got it straight now, but
Yeah,
looks.
so
Now he's...
Front-
There we go.
there we go.
The lights are on.
So away we go at Hidden Valley fucking Symmons Plains Raceway. I don't know what I'm on about. And Nathan Higginson's got a good start.
Plain start turn 1. See, as they fly through turn 2 up the hairpin. As he goes straight away, got defensive from Ben Hall.
He's got to stay in front of him if he's going to beat him here. He's got to do his best to back him up, I reckon. We're looking at the hairpin on the first lap. Everyone's got through pretty clean.
Yeah, he's right on him here. I reckon he's going to go defensive again.
I feel like he's got to. He's just got to defend it. I feel like Ben Hall probably has the peak pace over him, but if he can hold him off for a little bit.
Well, he's gone super deep.
He has. Ben Hall's going to try and get the over-under, but he's not going to be possible. So, Nathan Higginson, he leads the first lap here. First Super 2 lap lead, I think, for Hugo. Effectively, anyway. Keeping an eye back in the pack. It's all been pretty clean so far. Good clean start from everyone. Don't normally see that at a big field like this at this venue. Normally it's a big accident of the hairpin.
Oh!
Let's say that.
He's in the fence hard.
He hits in the fence hard. I'm going to see if I can get a replay of that.
Oh, I hate to see
What a
it.
shame. Yeah, he's just outbroken himself.
Hold
Massively.
brakes and bang into the fence hard. That's his race done. That's going to put him way back down the order.
Yeah, he will be seating himself there. It's a big shame for Stevie. He was a long time into this, and it's a shame to see him make a mistake like that. Anyway, back to the front. Gap's still half a second.
It is. Doing a good job is Nathan Higginson so far. Just watch the vivid cars. Oh, there's a car off in the background. Who's that? Got to try and find out who the hell that was. That was a big accident.
Quack
So,
Dodger.
Damo.
Oh, it's Damo as well.
So we'll see if I get a replay of that. He's been tapped here by Kai Jones and just straight off of the fence. We saw that. I saw that in the background a shot and confused me as to what was going on there. Ben Hall is actually struggling.
pushing that
behind.
car.
He's driving the wheels off of it, but and for once it looks like Higginson isn't driving the wheels off his car. Although Ben Hall has just done the fastest lap of the race.
Higo's done a very good job here. He's usually one to crack under pressure. We've seen not only here and other leagues across AMS, but yeah, he's doing a very good job here. Keeping feet on the black stuff.
Well, if you can stay in front and keep pulling off those really good middle sectors, he's got a good shot at winning this.
Well, middle sector's the most important sector on this track. It really, it's the one that you can overtake in. It sets up your run into this corner to overtake, and also the hairpin, and you can't really do too much else elsewhere. So if you're fast there, you're fast everywhere.
I'm looking at the live timing and my screen is on fire.
Oh, Ben Hall's made a massive mistake at turn 1. Sorry, guys. Forward drift onto the curb at turn 1. That's massive.
He's lost a lot of time now, as we can see. He's gone way back. Oh, and there's Server's had a bit of an incident there. It's like everybody just lagged through the fence for 1 second.
Yeah, been kicking himself. Gap's down 2 seconds. As I said before, that's a lot of time around Symmons Plains to something to make up.
Yeah, that's really helped Hugo here.
I'd just like to make a comment as well. Hugo has done purple sector on 2 laps to the middle sector.
two Ultimas getting into one another here, Pollard and Sykes, and Pollard's got that move done, and he's up to P8. That's an impressive start here from Pollard. He's up 4 positions.
Yeah, Pollard's been drumming quite well this round, but also the first round. He's really improved his driving over the last 12 months, I feel.
Agreed. He
Yeah,
was Super 3
definitely has.
runner last year, so up into, I mean, there is no Super 3 this year, but he's up into Super 2. Oh.
Yeah, I know a lot of the esports guys, they work quite hard on their racing.
Oh, that's a big dive. Has he pulled it up? Just. Oh,
Lost it. Looks like he's having some internet dramas there. I thought it may have been the server, but it looks like it was just him. Because no one else seemed to be struggling around him, and so he flashed in and out a few times. Just looked like he was struggling with Jaeger.
Nathan Higginson, quickest car on track last lap. 52.5.
It's impressive once again from the site.
As I say that, Steve Warwick's quickest car on track now. 52.4.
He's down in
Yellow
P8
the
part.
hairpin.
Yellow at the hairpin, correct. And we've got Brack into...
Pretty litter.
Who's in the pretty litter?
Cannon.
The pretty litter.
Out of there now.
Yeah, Damo's gone off the road again as well, so...
Play on words there, but anyway.
Not a good night for them. Oh, Brack and Latino are into one another.
Tino's backed out of it for a split second, but he might have another move. Turn 1, no. He's going to try and get the run, but it looks like he's locked it up just as he approached the apex, so it's hampered his run down to the first sector here, down to the hairpin. Steve Warwick off the road.
He is.
He'd be frustrated. I'd say he's just trying to drive beyond his limits, and I think he just needs to try and get a good result here because it's quicker than the cars in front by almost a second. So
My second computer's just had a freeze, so I'll go away from that for a second. The car in pit lane that I believe I've heard, yeah, that's Brody Patton, so he's trying to obviously fix some damage after that incident.
He's still doing a really good job. Gap's sort of stabilised the last few laps, staying at that 1.9, 1.8 seconds.
Yeah,
He's doing a
top
very
three
good job,
guys.
that's for sure.
top 3 guys all did a 52.9 as we see a little squabble here for 6th place.
Oh, I think it's 3 wide, you can't do that.
Wide.
Oh, Pollard!
Oh, look at
Pollard
this.
into sight!
They're both off.
Yeah, that's not going well.
Looks like he just completely outbroke himself and Sykes is there as a bystander.
Yeah, we'll get a replay of that. That wasn't very good. He's just come down here and he's just killed Sykes. So
And it's a safety car. Safety car's out.
safety car's out for
Wow.
that incident. That is a wow. This race could possibly finish under the SC. This has been not very helpful here for Nathan Higginson. But yes, the safety car is out onto the track.
Wow. So this has definitely spiced it up. So you reckon it's going to finish off the safety car, not the safety car, Kurt?
No, we could still get a lap in, but it's gonna be like literally 1 lap flyer. Didn't expect to see this much of the safety car tonight.
Yeah, and one person I don't think that wanted to see it was definitely Higo.
No, definitely not. But I reckon he's kept the tyres on that Autodesk entry. We saw Ben Hall making a lot of mistakes, using up a lot of the tyres. So yeah, if Higo can really hit his marks, I think he'll pull away from Ben. But as I've said previously, he tends to crack under pressure a lot. So this is going to be interesting, guys.
Certainly is. So see how many laps are on the safety car. We've still got cars catching the queue, as was the field spread. So we'll have a beef gander. Brennan Dostal, it must be said.
Don't
up to
discount
P3,
this guy.
That's been a very impressive drive tonight.
On the last lap, he was the fastest car, so do not discount this guy.
The lights are on the safety car. That is something to note. Cam Parrett and Bradford had a quiet race back there in P5, scrapping one another. Harrison Platino was under mad pressure there with Michael Pollard and Liam Butt, Matt Cecil. Steve Warwick still in P10, so he hasn't dropped after all those dramas. And Keenan Sykes actually did fairly well there, to be honest. He didn't really cost him a lot, and there's been an incident in the background there.
What is going on there?
Caught out by the safety car. It's helped all these guys catch back up to the field as they were a long way behind the field before the restart. Dodger, Claimbite, Luke Yeager, Jordan DeSantis, Car and Damo's had not really had a great race. We sent him off the road twice. Once, first time not through his own doing either, was turfed off by one of the Ultimas. Burrow and Katner are a lap down in this skew. So it'd be interesting to see if we do get a restart this lap. It was a short safety car period last time round. So
I would assume they might be going green because they've stopped weaving.
yep, they have.
Yep, we're going green.
Here we go.
So we'll have 3 laps. So you go accelerates away. Let's see if he can pull that gap. Or slight lock up. Oh, Ben's had a massive squabble into the apex there. That's cost him.
Turn 1 for Ben. Yeah, it has. Fall into the hairpin.
Oh, Ben! Ben!
Oh.
Ben!
Oh, what's happened to Ben? Dostal has got him. Sorry, I'm trying to deal with some adminning issues related to the safety car once again. So
Nice to a setback for Ben, and he'll be kicking himself there as he has to go
He's going to
defensive.
try and get it
Oh,
back.
he's-
Oh!
Oh,
That's a... Yeah.
ambitious
That's a
move.
bit
He's
rude.
got it done.
Oh, and who's off that off? That's Pollard off, flying off into the fence, is it?
Oh, I'm
It was.
massive lag.
Yeah, as am I. Dealing with some adminning dramas. That's all. Stenny's off the road as well, and that's Pollard's obviously got a puncher. He went into the fence pretty hard. Back at the front. Oh, Parrett. Parrett with a huge dive.
He's got it done, but Dostal's going to get the comeback.
That he is.
So,
Oh, there's been a huge accident further
Elbo's out
back.
here.
And
Oh
it
my
looks like
God,
we've gone
there's
safety
a
car.
pile up hairpin.
Yeah, we've gone safety car. There's been a huge accident further back. So this set race is now going to
track
finish
is
under the
jammed.
SC.
The track is jammed.
Oops, sorry, wrong button. So I'm going to bring you pictures of that. Sorry. I don't know what the hell went on here, but this was... Somebody just massively screwed up down
Whoa.
here. It was, oh, Stenny into the back of Pollard. And then... Oh, Pollard in the middle of the road. Paxton was already there. And then the whole track was jammed. So that's resulted in the race, finishing over safety car. So this is the last lap of the race. This has been a very drama-filled race compared to the last year we've had in this series. Sorry, I'm having some technical dramas myself. For some reason it's not wanting to switch between computers.
Well, guys, that's the thing. He's going to bag this one. You can, there's a little bit of discount from the result because it's finished on the safety car, but he's totally deserved this one. He's driven.
That's now the server is actually having a massive lag fit.
Yeah, I thought I was lagging, but
It turns out it is the server, but this is going to be the finish of the race anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. I just hope it
major issues.
covers itself before we cross the line, and that will be Nathan Higginson who wins the race. So, and it's given everyone a
Yeah, like I
penalty on
said,
the restart for some reason, but
Like I said before, he's driven very, very well, soaked up the pressure, kept the tyres on it, and he's got a bit of luck here with the finish on the safety car.
yeah, so that is a victory for him. I know the server's saying different things to that, but it is him crossing the line in first. The server's decided to penalise some people for restart infringement after the line because it couldn't work out who was in what order. As we can see, it's having a fit for some reason. So, but good victory
So
there
it's
to
caught COVID.
Nathan Higginson. So,
The server has caught COVID, ladies and gentlemen.
it does appear that way.
Yeah, it's very interesting things. Anyway, we'll press on.
Press on, but Higo is doing a burnout here now.
See,
Well, it looks like a...
Commodore engineers they've mastered the technique of teleporting here, so definitely doing some creative things to get some uptime, but yeah.
So as we can see, the order there is completely wrong, so we have to go through and actually digest what the hell happened there. Let's see if I can get us a replay of the finish of the race and who was where. I don't know if I can, because everything's just died on me. But yeah, good result from Higo. I'm not sure who completed the rest of the podium, guys. I think it was Ben Hall from Cam Parrett from Dostal. For some reason it's awarded Brandon the win, but
Dussel will be kicking himself there. He was up to second place at the restart, but got caught up in a few bust-ups at the end. So I think he'll be pretty disappointed in that. But yeah, he drove absolutely brilliantly. Yeah, recovering from starting from pit lane in race 1, and yeah, having some good pace in race 2. But yeah, that was certainly an exciting race, drama-filled to say the least. But yeah, that was good.
yeah, so
Yeah, I was just
the top three
letting everyone know that to ignore that finishing order there in race 2. We know what it is and we'll fix it up.
So Dostal is fourth, Bratt was fifth, Latino is sixth, Bud seventh. It must be Steve Warwick was in between them, I believe. Yeah, he scored him there. We'll work that out after the line. Matt Cecil, Keenan Sykes, Kai Jones, Luke Yeager, Damo, Dodger, Bob Carr, Acclaim Bite, DeSantes, Stenny, who was involved in that safety car incident, Spyro, and yeah, that's where it starts to mess up the order because I believe Pollard and a few others were involved in that and they've fallen back as well. So we'll get on top of where everyone finished, but we know who the podium is, so that's the main thing, I guess. That was a drama-filled race into this race. It must be said that was a very drama-filled 14 laps, but big congrats to Higo, as I'm currently trying to find where my mouse has disappeared to.
I shall drag Higo up for a chat.
Yep, I'll give you full permission to do that. I'll let whoever wants to talk to him.
Higo, mate. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
I know the result was a bit weird at the end there, but you are classified as the winner for race 2, so well done for that.
Awesome.
And you had a pretty solid race 1 as well. How'd you find it out there?
Well, I honestly, I found qualifying probably the hardest session of the night. Especially with people going on out laps and the track being so small, it was really hard to find yourself a piece of room that you could, a piece of track that you could really capitalise on. But I was surprised that I'd ended up finding one in the dying minutes of qualifying and was able to edge out Ben from the pole. I was able to convert it into a good start.
Well, yeah, mate, you scored I believe that's your first pole in Super 2 as well. So, yeah, well done.
Yeah, it
Been a
is.
successful night for yourself.
Yeah,
Must be
I
pretty
was
happy.
no, really happy. Race one, I feel like was a little bit of a. I feel like second was kind of ended to me a bit with Steve's misfortune, but it was a stellar job from him, both him and Ben, out in front that whole race. I mean, Ben never put a foot wrong in the first race, and he tried his hardest to catch me in the second race, but just I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know whether he couldn't put it together or not. But he was telling me that he was throwing everything at me, even the kitchen sink. But I don't know. I just felt the car felt really, really stable. Felt really nice to drive. So yeah, a good night all round, I guess.
Now I'm gonna
Well,
jump in here, mate.
we actually made the comment that the middle sector was mega from you all night in the race. Qualifying it was very, very quick. Up there with the main series guys.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the middle sector was a bit of a weird one for me because the lap that I don't know if you guys caught it on broadcast or not, but the lap that I edged Ben out for the pole, I actually came into the hairpin just that little bit too hot. Because Matt Cecil was on his outlap and he did tell me that as soon as he saw me, he just bolted at full throttle into the sand trap to not get in my way. But I dove in there a fair bit over. I probably missed my braking point by about 10-15 metres, and I was, a tenth or two down in the hairpin, but I was able to claw it back in the last mid to last sector.
Yeah, mate. Well, again, fantastic job tonight. I'm
Thank you.
sure you're looking forward to the next one.
I will be.
No worries, mate.
mate.
Thanks for the chat.
Cheers, boys.
I'll let you grab the next one.
Yeah, I'll grab Ben Hall and I'll have a chat to him. Ben, mate, P1 and pole in the first race tonight, and then backed it up with P2, I think, in the last one with all the dramas there at the end. But it definitely wasn't an easy one for you. You were a bit battered there from pillar to post. How'd you find it?
Yeah, quality for race one, and race one went pretty well. Quali just edged out Latina, I think it was, and then had a fantastic battle with Steve in the first race, and just want to give full credit to him. He was putting me under the pump all race from, I think it was like the middle half of the race to the back end of the race. He was catching me lap after lap, and just blocked him as best I could, and by I think lap 18 or 19 the tyres were cooked, so I was sliding everywhere and car was just drifting and stuff like that, so definitely wasn't the easiest to hold off, but managed to do it. And race 2 and quali 2, Higo beating me by I think it was the 10th, so yeah, congrats to him, man. He deserved it. He held off the pressure. Like he said, I was throwing the kitchen sink at him. I was throwing absolutely everything at him, and I had a full Scott McLaughlin moment. I was all tyres locked. I thought, shit, I'm going to hit him and cut the grass. I'm like, that's the only way I could go. So, pretty solid night, and still championship leader. So, pretty solid night.
Yeah, definitely good stuff, mate. As I say, you've come out of this still in the lead of the championship, so you can't be disappointed with that. But it's excellent driving. We saw that your car looked a bit loose there towards the end of race 1. Was it tyre life the factor?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't so much tyre life. It was actually the rear tyres were just getting so hot. It wasn't funny. I think at one point they were like 120 or 130 degrees or something. I was just going through tyres like a kid in a hot dog factory or whatever you want to call it. The tyres were just so warm by the end of race 1, and race 2, by lap like 6 or 7, the tyres were dead. So, I just had no tyres to fight Higo, and I only barely had enough tyres to hold off to Steve. Like you said, coming out championship later, so definitely not disappointed, and didn't think this track's, starting to grow on me throughout the week. I didn't do a lot of practice, but looking forward to next week for Maine, which I don't think I'll be there for. But it's pretty solid night all around, and still championship leader. So can't be too disappointed with that.
No, you can't, mate. So I know that's your goal, to win the championship. So, but yeah, it was good from our point of view to see some other boys putting a lot of pressure on you, and yeah, one of them getting over the top of you. So it made it pretty exciting for us. So be interesting to see how it goes in the next one, eh?
I can tell you, I was feeling the pressure, man. I definitely was, especially race 2. I was just overdriving the car, and it's simple. I was just trying to get past this Higo, just trying to get past Higo as quick as I could, and I was just overdriving the car and just chewing the tyres up.
Yeah, it's a note I actually made in the broadcast. I said, Higo's normally the one driving it sideways, and it seemed like you were the one driving it sideways, and Higo was driving it straight for once.
I think we've actually flipped the roles. I think I was driving like Higo, and he was driving like me tonight. But full credit to Higo. He held off the pressure fantastically, and yeah, he definitely deserves it. And if anyone wanted to knock me off the top, I'd want it to be him. But hopefully he doesn't. Like you said, the goal is to win the championship, and yeah, so work towards it, and let's see what happens from here.
Well, no worries, mate. Good luck at the next one, and we'll see how you go at the next one.
Cheers, mate.
Well, I believe Cam Parrett was our other podium sitter, so I'll drag him up. Cam, mate, solid night from your perspective. I think it was 2 podiums. I'm not 100% sure because my brain's not working properly tonight. I called one of the race starts as Hidden Valley, so that's about how good I'm doing. How'd you find it out
I'm not
there?
sure. Pretty tough tonight. I had the wrong gear ratio selected for the first race. Had no drive at all. Had to defend pretty hard against Brap, and yeah, I'm not sure where I finished in the end because I saw Steve ran into a bit of trouble, and I don't know if I got by him or not, but it was either 3rd or 4th. But yeah. And yeah, second race again, just no pace, unfortunately. Just yeah, didn't have it tonight. But yeah, the guys ahead of me, that was a great battle to sit and watch. So yeah.
Well, yeah. Mate, you had a good result considering you didn't have much pace. We did see that you were having a good battle there with Brap. How was that? How'd that one play out?
It was great fun, actually. It was good to be involved in a battle. Like, there was a lot of respect between us on the track. We left each other room, and I had to defend extremely hard, which was a lot of pressure, but a lot of fun as well. So, can't complain. Good night of racing. Didn't get involved in any bingles, and yeah, it looks like the guys down the back they're chucking in plenty of protests. So it was a bit spicy down there.
Yeah, it's interesting race night. You mentioned that. It was pretty clean on the starts of races, and even the first race was fairly clean. But second race, I think a few people lost their heads and threw bombs. But it was good that it was that was not really affecting the front few guys that just drove well and had uttermost respect for one another. But down the back, a few people lost their heads, I think.
Yeah, I think lucky podium for me in the end there too. I ran off the track, got overtaken by Dostal, and then got the safety car and got jumped by Brap on the restart. Then, he ran wide, and then I chucked it down the inside of Dostal. It was just complete desperation move, locked it all up, and I drove out of the hairpin with square tyres right before that second safety car got thrown, so it was just extremely lucky.
Yeah, it was lucky, mate. We were saying that it was disappointing for Dostal, who somehow found himself in P2, and then got pushed back by everybody. But yeah, there was a huge pile up at the hairpin, so... saw the replay in the stream earlier. It was it looked a bit spicy for sure. Yeah, it definitely was, mate. So I'm not sure where you're at the championship, but I'd say you'll be top 3 with the other 2 with the results they had tonight and your results. Probably still potentially P2, but we'll have to go back and have a look at the numbers. But can't complain at that, I guess. Solid night considering
just gonna
pace.
Stay consistent, I think.
I think that's the way to play it, because eventually one of these guys are going to fall into dramas at some point. So, that's the way.
Yeah. Looking at Higo, he looks to have upped his pace, and if him and Ben can have a few bingles in the next few races, that'd be wonderful.
Wow, that's a bit of wishful thinking, but
oh, it sure is. But hey, you gotta have some wishful thinking sometimes.
Yeah, that you do, and especially after tonight, we saw anything can happen to anybody. So, but yeah, anyway, good night of racing for yourself, and good luck on the next one.
Yeah, alrighty, thank you very much. We'll see you next time out.
No worries.
See you then.
Alright. Yeah, my mouse has had a fit. So yeah, Cole, not much more to say about that night of racing. It was good racing up the front, really good battling, really good field. Really happy to see so many guys out there, but a few guys that were inexperienced and a few guys that kind of got a bit desperate there towards the end and sort of ruined the finish of the race for everybody. But that's racing, and you know they'll learn as we come back next time.
Well, that's it. It's a development series, so these guys are still developing. You know, the guys at the front are pretty experienced, and it was good to see some great racing, great qualifying as well. The pace was red hot, and yeah, can't wait for us to get out there ourselves next Monday after the real racing on the weekend, and yeah, it should be fun.
That is a good point to make. Yep, next week we'll be back here, same time, same place, with Stez and Madbird in the box. It was an awesome race last time out for main series. Dane Warren dominated the event, but we'll see how it goes at the next one. I know he's strong again, but he could have some challenges. So, and we had a good feel for that one as well. So that'll be sure one to check out for anyone who's watching.
For sure, mate.
Well, we'll see everyone next week having a gander at the broadcast, and we'll close this one out. It's been a pleasure to join you, and it's been good to have Luke here. And we'll catch you for the next round of Super 2, which I believe is in about 5 or 6 weeks at Wanneroo.
That sounds correct.
Catch ya.
See ya.